Welcome to Music Meditation. This is your brain on bass. Meditation, for me, is the great connector. Its relationship with health and well-being has been personally transformational. Its place in creativity and achieving flow state was a key component of my graduate studies in music. Its significance in EEG and fMRI brain studies affirms what we have known for centuries. Meditation is good for you. You may be able to hear in the background a low hum. It is a 40 hertz pitch played on a double bass. More on that later. Today's guest speakers are two individuals I have been following for quite a while, and they represent two of my most favorite subjects, sound and creativity. The first guest is Professor Lee Bartel, and he will speak briefly on the 40 hertz pitch I mentioned earlier. The second is Dr. Charles Lim, and he will speak about his fMRI brain study on improvisation. Okay, technically, they aren't guest speakers, just excerpts from their TED Talk presentations. The benefits of low vibrations are not limited to just the brain. They can improve blood circulation and tissue healing. In fact, anything in the gamma wave spectrum that is about 30 hertz to 100 hertz can elicit physical benefits. Studies have shown that people with certain forms of dementia, including Alzheimer's disease, have decreased brain activity in the 40 hertz area. Research by Professor Lee Bartel has shown that exposure to 40 hertz vibrations can, in as little as 6 sessions of 30 minutes each, have a significant impact on mental stability, specifically an average gain of 12% on the total Alzheimer's test.
It was my intention to place here an excerpt from Lee Bartel's excellent 2016 TEDx talk in Collingwood titled Music Medicine, Sound at a Cellular Level. Dr. Bartel explores how sound can stimulate cells in your body to reduce the impact of fibromyalgia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, depression, and even decreased blood flow. I've used TED Talk excerpts and lectures to promote the research in these areas, all done quite legally. But this is the internet. It is understandable that these productions are proprietary. Please search TED Talks Lee Bartel to see his talk online.
Dr. Bartel has used the term immersive to describe the use of 40 hertz pitch in his studies on individuals suffering from dementia. His work involves subjects sitting in a comfortable chair, surrounded by subwoofers, emitting the low vibrations. As mentioned, the immersion in the 40 hertz sound would last approximately 30 minutes per session. His study tested individuals after 6 of these sessions over a period of 3 weeks. He continues research in this area, and he uses terms such as vibroacoustic therapy and audioceuticals to describe his work. The lowest string on a double bass is an E, typically followed by an A, a D, and a G. The sound you are hearing is a low E being played on a double bass. It is somewhat unique in that it is tuned to 40 hertz, a pitch sometimes referred to as the sweet spot of intra-brain communication. Ancient medical practices were not developed without reason. Acupuncture is effective, and many herbal medicines, typically created over time through trial and error, inexplicably work. Did early civilizations naturally gravitate to a 40 hertz fundamental in pursuit of inner peace and harmony? Many stringed instruments have an E as the lowest and or most fundamentally important string, such as the lute, sitar, guitar, double bass, and electric double bass guitar. And what about chanting and meditation? What pitch was the original meditative Om? Is a low E at 40 hertz where our forefathers intended our E to be? One of the objectives of meditation is to slow mental activity and let the subconscious mind bubble up without judgment or control. Many individuals express their desire to stop the noise or clear their thoughts. Many explore meditation to improve their focus or help them concentrate. The quest for inner peace and tranquility is common, and many attach religious overtones to the process, which, while important, is not a requirement for meditative success. Bottom line, whatever floats your boat is perfectly acceptable. Which brings us to our next guest, hashtag TED Talk excerpt. Dr. Charles Lim is a brain surgeon based in Boston who enjoys jazz music. He managed to merge medicine and music into an exploratory study on improvisation, unveiling some interesting correlations between brain activity and a creative Zen-like state. Here is Dr. Lim introducing himself.
Charles Lim's 2010 TED Talk titled Your Brain on Improv is well worth listening to and can be found searching TED Talk Charles Lim. He is a surgeon that studies creativity and acknowledges that he has never had a patient tell him that they really want him to be creative during surgery. He compares surgery to playing a musical instrument and discusses his interest in improvisation. What he and his team found has deep implications for our understanding of creativity of all kinds.
Part of Dr. Lim's research involved artists with their heads inside an fMRI machine trading 4-bar jazz solos with someone else in the lab.
The fMRI footage in Dr. Lim's TED Talk is fantastic. A jazz pianist, head inside an fMRI machine and playing a small keyboard in his lap, swaps 4-bar jazz solos with Dr. Lim in the control room. Pretty cool. Check it out. TED Talk, Dr. Lim.
Dr. Lim's research suggests that improvisation does indeed use the part of the brain long associated with creativity, that's the prefrontal cortex, but that it also indicates a decrease in activity for the area of the brain associated with evaluative judgment, inhibitions, self-control, and self-monitoring. That's the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. That's the back of the prefrontal cortex. This set of conditions occurred during musical improvisation only, and not in playing by rote nor just listening to music. This study revealed that when we improvise, our brains combine an increase in creativity with a decrease in cognitive control. Creativity is an important part of our physical and mental existence. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi suggests that creativity is the cultural equivalent of the process of genetic changes that result in biological evolution, where random variations take place in the chemistry of our chromosomes. The act of true improvisation has been described by many as an ethereal experience, lofty, out of body, liberating, transcendent. Academically, terms to describe this detached, euphoric feeling of true improvisation have evolved over the years, and the most commonly used today is flow state, a concept developed by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Flow state is sometimes referred to as the zone, or in Buddhist expressions describing meditation, it is the action of inaction, or doing without doing, or attaining a state of effortless attention. It is recognized across many fields of study, and it can have a negative connotation, such as in gaming, where being hyper-focused in a TV trance can become part of a gamer's addiction. But it remains a desirable component for creative activity, where inhibitions fall away and ideas are allowed to bubble up without judgment or second thought. Meditation, for me, is the great connector. Intra-brain communication, good vibrations, music, critical thinking, brain studies, improvisation, creativity, letting go. But most importantly, meditation is about our quality of life, our understanding of the world around us and what is happening to us in it.